Does Pinky have beef literally and figuratively? Is this Shamea's last season? And is Dennis still in love with Portia? Let's get into the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta and spill some tea, honey, now. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Tea Room. It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk session. And today we are getting into the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which was a hoot, honey. I am enjoying this season so much, y'all. So much. It's such a redeeming season from what we saw last time. And I am all in. But before we get into it, let's take care of the business. Make sure you're following me, please, and supporting on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. Don't forget Threads. I'm over there when the show's alive, giving you my funny thoughts at what you see here on the bottom of the screen, REALITEA. That's reality underscore recap. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Like this video, share it. Set your alerts so you don't miss any of my Tea Talks. The name is coming across the bottom of the screen. It's at Reality Recap 2876. It's also linked in my bios for easy access on all my social media platforms. So let's get into it. We start off with Pinky and Kelly sitting down. And child, why are they yelling at you every time you come in Pinky's restaurant? I don't know if I like that. If I just want to try a burger, I don't need nobody yelling and calling me a slut when I walk through the door. I get it. Like, she's as part of her team morale and all of that stuff. But yeah, you can save the yelling out. There's a slut in the building. Every time somebody walk in, it's a little weird. Just my thoughts. But Kelly and Pinky, they're bonding over bankruptcies because we know Pinky is going through her bankruptcy because of putting a lot of things in her personal name and being the guarantee on things. And as she explains it, not having the right executives in place at the CFO level and things like that. So she's filing for bankruptcy. She lost her business and brought it back eventually. And we know Kelly is also after her. I can't even say after because she's still going through the divorce, with everything she has going on. She was the guarantee on a lot of things for her restaurant. And that has caused some issues for her as well. Unpaid rent at the location, Sandy Springs, that we saw her grand open on a recent episode that is also now closed. So they're bonding over their experiences because they're similar in nature, except for Pinky's not going through a tumultuous divorce. That kind of caused this, which is where Kelly is right now. And Pinky tells Kelly that she heard through Shamea that Phaedra said that she eats meat and she's not playing about her business. Rightfully so. She says she's on the PETA board. She has her vegan restaurants and she lives a vegan life. So saying that can be something, that hurts her business. So she didn't like that. And then they show a flashback of Kelly being the one saying, like, girl, she eating steaks. Now, mind you, she had heard this from Shamea, and Shamea is the one that, like I said, told Pinky this. And Shamea saying Phaedra told her that. So it's a big, big, big mishmash of information. It's the telephone game. Now, did Phaedra say this? Not to that exact extent. From the flashback that they showed, it was shady. Phaedra was saying, like, girl, before she was doing that vegan stuff, she owned a Jamaican restaurant selling meat. It was shady in nature, but never did she say that she eats meat currently, or that she's eating meat in the closet or behind closed doors. It was totally misconstrued. And it's just adding to the list of why I don't think Shamea is good on this show, if I'm being honest. Like, Shamea falls flat every time with her receipts, with her shade. Everything just falls flat for me. And this episode was no exception with her starting this, no pun intended, beef between Phaedra and Pinky. Not to mention, we see Shamea interact with her husband in this episode, and it was cringy and awkward to watch. We all know that Gerald does not want to film. I don't understand why she continues to force it on him. It now, the optics look like he doesn't love her or he doesn't like her. And he looks annoyed. In the first episode, when she had to go to the dinner, she wanted him to go, and he's like, "Nah, my plane got rerouted to Charlotte. I'm not in Atlanta." I don't even believe that to be so. And then in this episode, they're traveling to Dallas. They're getting ready to go to Dallas because of a business venture for Cynthia with the tequila business. So they're getting ready for that. And she's like, "You sure you don't want to come? You don't want to go to the gala with me and meet me out there?" He's like, "No, you have fun with that." His arms is folded. He's not, he's avoiding the camera. He seems hyper focused on them having more children. And we know that there's some infertility issues. They've used surrogates in the past. Um, their last surrogate was diagnosed, I believe, with breast cancer. And their child was delivered early with complications that, they're still navigating to this day. And he's looking to do that same process again with another surrogate. It seems like they had one, it may have fell through. Now they're starting the process all over again. And every time you choose a surrogate, which I'm learning through this episode, is that you have to then do legal process and paperwork every single time. But he seems hyper focused on having more children and specifically having a son. And it feels like that's what he wants Shamea to be focused on. Like, he's put time, money, energy into Shamea's music career, acting career, her getting on the show. Then also now she's pivoted into the rum business without even knowing that peaches don't grow in Grenada. And she's trying to, like, import peaches to Grenada, which they said absolutely not. That would be too much money. She's focused on all these different, like, jack of all trade, master of none type energy, and he wants a son. I fear that Shamea is risking her marriage, her cushy lifestyle for this show. And I also think that if she does not create more of a narrative for herself without forcing him to film, this is giving Shamea won't have too many more seasons. And I'm okay with that. Um, there's a reason why, in my opinion, that Bravo had her around in the background, friend of at times of Candy, and did not make her a housewife. And even now, I don't think that she needs to be holding a peach. It's just falling really flat for me. I know she's excited. She finally got her chance, but it's not giving Glue of Atlanta. It's not giving best friends with everyone. That's Lala Anthony. If if we want to get for real, that's who that is. That's not Shamea. So it's just really falling flat for me. And that conversation with her husband was super, super awkward to watch. We also saw, of course, our girl Portia in this episode, and I was surprised to see Mike. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought that we were gonna see Mike in the first episode and never see him again, but he's still lingering on while she figured out dating either him or Sway. We know eventually she picked Sway, and that's who she's in a serious relationship with now. She has an interview coming out today, by the way, with Carlos King that I cannot wait to see. It looks so fun and high energy and transparent, and I can't wait to watch it. So make sure you guys check that out. But I was surprised to see Mike again on this episode, and she got really honest with him. But I also feel like this honest conversation was a way for her to segue into kind of breaking away from him. But she talked about how she's selling her original home that she bought after her divorce from Cordell. That was her sign of independence and owning her own. And after that, she and now that Portia has this new mansion that she acquired after her divorce with Simon, I think the bill is pretty steep on this mansion. You have to remember Simon was the one footing the bill, whether it be with scamming money or not, allegedly. He was the one footing the bill for the home, and now she's solely in the home. And don't get me wrong, pampered by Portia and Go Naked Hair look like it's doing well. I don't know if it's enough to sustain this estate of a mansion that she's in. So she's selling her original home where her mom is actually living in. And she's sad to sell it, but realize there's equity in it and she wants to keep the home that she has, which is gorgeous, by the way. I just wonder what's happening with mom. Is mom moving in with her? What's happening there? Because she didn't really get into it. But I just wonder at this point, I mean, there's more than enough room in her mansion for her mom to come stay with her. But she shared that she was emotional about it and she thought that was kind of going to be the forever home for her mom. But no worries, Portia. Give her the west wing of that mansion that you in. But she shared that with Mike, and also she gets into, like I said, this serious conversation of saying, so, I've been married twice, engaged, I have a child, and you haven't done those things. And it seems like Mike may have mentioned that he wants an upward of 4 children. And Portia is snatched, got her body back, just got new boobs. She's not really looking to birth 3 to 4 more children. And he made it clear that if that wasn't in the cards for them, that it would be a deal breaker. And that's why I feel like, because after she was like, oh, really? I think Portia is really clear on the fact that she would rather date Sway. I think that she's not even looking to be that serious with Mike to go towards an engagement, marriage, or children. So that was her way to segue the conversation into later on down the line breaking off from this man. So I just was saying she's serious, but definitely not serious when it comes to him. But it was a good conversation. She's smooth with it. Gotta give it to her. She's definitely smooth with it. Angela's carrying another bone. She's telling Phaedra that Pinky's mad with her. And that's where we see the clip of what Phaedra actually said about Pinky owning a Jamaican restaurant. Angela is not the breakout star this time that she was last season. I think we're gonna get more from her. Let me be clear. Seems like there's some beef coming our way with her and Pinky on this Dallas trip. But I think we have to give Angela some grace this season. She seems to be struggling with the passing of her mother, and she's headstrong on these business projects that just don't seem smart. We saw her lose the 3 houses, the 3 mansions that she was renovating and looking to kind of flip and sell. She lost all 3 of them. Now she has this smaller home that she's just keeps saying, I just got to get a win. I just need a win. And she's starting her fan business, which I am all in favor of. I just hope she executes it well. She has a budget of $50,000 and she seems very confident that she'll be able to manufacture these fans at a low enough cost that she'll recoup that money. I'm just not sold yet. And the people she had around this business table, there were no PowerPoints, no charts. And she's asking yet again Charles to go half with her on this business venture. And I'm not sold on the name. What does she call it on this show? Is it her? Did she say Fangie or is it Fangela? But I wasn't sold on the name. I wasn't sold on that. These are the right people that are going to help her. I don't know if they've ever sold or manufactured fans in their lives. But she's saying that she is taking advice from the right people this time, which she says she did not do with the house venture. I just want to focus on one or the other. And I would really hope that she put all her energy and money into the fan business of it and produce some high-end cute fans, because the fans we see her with are blinged out and pretty and different colors, and I just don't know how she's going to accommodate that level of, blinging out the fans in that budget range. So we'll see. I'm willing to support and get a fan. I don't wear lace fronts, so I'm never slipping back like a convertible in the summertime. But I mean, we all need a fan during the summer. I would love to have a little handheld fan. I love one that has a little spritz water coming out of it too. So we'll see, honey. But I just wish you would focus on one instead of both. And it just feels like a quest to prove something because she's grieving. So praying for her, hoping that she can make smarter business decisions. And that's a part of business, I guess, wins and losses. But some of them, it seems like they could be avoided with the right counsel. So at least Charles didn't embarrass her this time. He came in willing to help her. He didn't give her a hard time. He did say, "Oh, another one of your business ventures, huh?" But without hesitation, he said, yeah, he didn't mind going half with her on her business. So hopefully it works out for her. We're rooting for you, Angela. We really, really are. So Pinky has an event and she wants all the girls to bring things she's giving back to the community, which was great to see, by the way. And all the women come. Kelly comes first. K Michelle comes first, then Kelly, and then who's late? Freaking frack, because they got to eat at home because they not sure what they serving at the vegan restaurant, and they at home eating shrimp and stuff before they go to the daggone event. And then they come in and immediately Kelly leaves, and she still is giving energy in her confessional that she does not give in anybody's face, mainly Portia. So she leaves and she's, questioned in her confessional about, oh, you and Portia don't speak at all. And she's like, oh, Pinky should name a burger after her. Call it the Horsha burger. She'll go right in at slutty vegan. It's like, but say that to her face. I'm getting real tired of Kelly saying things in her confessional, but don't have that same energy in anybody's face. I'm not a fan of that. Y'all already know that about me. I'm not a fan of that at all. And I will say though, there was a tit for tat online with Drew and with Kelly, because people were saying that they didn't even realize or notice that Kelly was missing in the last episode. And Drew commented saying, like, that's telling, or nobody missed her. Drew then made a statement saying that she didn't comment that it was someone on her team who she then had fired from her team. But then, oddly enough, Drew was missing from this episode, and we really didn't notice that either. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to keep going on without Drew. I could keep going on without Kelly, because she's not able to really talk about anything because her estranged husband is suing everybody down to NBC, Bravo, Kelly, even the damn courthouse that is doing their divorce. But Drew, don't get me wrong, she brings the shade. But this episode really had nothing to do with her. It was really centered around Phaedra and Pinky and this vegan comment. So it was just oddly enough, no Drew this episode, and wondering if that's why she came out and made that statement. Did she know she wasn't going to be featured in this episode? But yeah, they had a little tit for tat online after last week's previous week's episode. But yeah, Kelly, she exits stage left as soon as Portia arrives, and they help out with the event, and then they get into the conversation of this alleged comment that Phaedra made. And Phaedra made it very clear that she did not say that she said that she owned a Jamaican restaurant previously. Now, like I said, it was shady, but there was no intent to make it seem like, in my opinion, that Pinky eats meat now. And she's like, well, Shamea told me that. And Shamea's sitting there like, I could have sworn she told me that. I could have sworn she told me that. Get your facts straight, girl. And know what you're saying and mean what you say. Let's do that. Okay. It just fell completely flat, and Phaedra went off the deep end too, because she's like, oh, Shamea doesn't like me, that's why she said it. Shamea made a dig at me and motherhood. And then they played a clip of her on this podcast where Shamea was asked, like, who would she want to be, like, who would she want to be the godmother of her children or something like that, or like the guardian of her children if something was to happen to her, something along those lines. And she chose Angela, I believe, over Phaedra, or someone she chose over Phaedra. And there was no mention of Phaedra being a bad mom, but she took it that way. And I was like, that's a reach, Phaedra. Love you, but that's a reach. And Shamea, as always, apologized. She apologized for that. We'll probably get a whole nother apology speech on YouTube at the end of this season, too. Um, but yeah, it was just a mess for no reason. Was it shady on Phaedra's part? Absolutely. But did she say that she still eats meat? Absolutely not, in my opinion. But it was a hoot. We even got a cameo from Maury, Maury Povich, with his lie detector results showing that Pinky indeed is a vegan. If you don't know, Pinky Cole used to be a producer on the Maury Povich show. And to get a cameo from him was amazing. We love Maury. I love his new podcast. If you guys aren't listening, he recently interviewed Ricky Lake, and it was amazing. Although sometimes I think Ricky Lake is full of herself. She thinks that she's the best thing that ever happened to talk show, and she thinks her facelift is the best facelift ever done to man. And I love Ricky. She changed the game. I was in her audience, low key at 17, because my mom took me and went with me. I do think she changed the game for sure, because it was daytime television was more geared towards an older audience until Ricky came along at the age of 23, I believe, and changed the game. But she can be a little full of herself sometimes, if I'm being honest. And she knows that she's a staple in daytime talk, and rightfully so, girl. But just be a little bit more humble. Because if you ask me, Richard Bay was that guy. Okay. A lot of y'all may not know, do your research, but Richie Bay, that was my guy. That was my show. But I say all that to say that Real Housewives of Atlanta, they're bringing the comedy, the shade, the beefs. I am enjoying this season. I can't say it enough. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, like this video, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's coming across the bottom of the screen, Reality Recap 2876. And support me, please. Follow, comment, like my content. It's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. What you see here at the bottom of the screen, REALITEA. That's reality_recap for all the trending reality news and gossip. Now, as I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace.